We're in the town of Placerville, and where we're at is the town switch here out by the road, and basically the track that goes in from this end goes to warehouse number 3, which passes behind the station, and the siding for that becomes the team track as it moves down. Now in the background there you can see there are 2 more warehouses. Those are warehouse 1 and 2. And then as we move down there's a yard throat, and the tracks come together onto the main again at this point, and then they split off again into a Y, and you'll see that the train will be approaching through the tunnel. If you follow around to the Y, the fueling stands on the front side, and then in the back track there are some stock pens. First train of the day is a passenger train. Basically this is a through train that's coming into Placerville. It'll be stopping at the station, pick up some passengers. And number 22 is in the lead. This is the Ridgeway to Rico train. I didn't toot the whistle.
I didn't blow the whistle for that grade crossing. It has a really wimpy sounding whistle.
This is the ore train. It's left Ridgeway. Now it's going through Placerville. The Ridgeway to Rico train is coming through. Okay, here we are in Placerville, and the freight has arrived in town, and there's a bunch of switching and a meet that has to occur here. So Bill, what's your first step here? What are you planning to do?
Well, we have one set out at the conical plant, and there's no pickups. So what I'll do is we'll pull ahead, set out the conical car, and then we'll go from there. There's a bunch of internal switching to do, several pickups and a bunch of setouts, so we'll be here for a bit.
Okay.
We also have to keep an eye out for a passenger train. He's not too far away.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to pull ahead until we can get the tank. We'll push the tank in.
Right, and I have to go with you because I'm still on the train. Okay, and the conical that goes in, I think the
33.
32, which is the second one. So this one. When I want to stop, you know?
I think we just stopped.
I think you, yeah, my engine did.
Okay.
Okay. Couple?
Way to ruin the production.
What up? Number one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lined up. And put
I'll have to make that card run longer, I think.
cars. Half a car, 5 feet.
So what's the process that you're going through here, Bill?
We have a passenger train coming, so what's going to happen, I'm going to stay on the Y. We'll push the helper and a block of cars into the siding. I think we should go up that track. And we'll get the passenger train out of the way and then we'll get back to work. Yeah, they don't make money, passenger trains. Bunch of old drunks will tell you that.
Damn.
Bunch of old drunks will tell you that.
Well, they got money. They want them to come down to work once.
Oh, okay, eventually.
Now that our passenger train is gone, I'm going to pull back onto the main, cut off the cars that we're leaving here. Then I'm going to go to the far end of the yard and start the pickups that are going with me. Now I have 2 cars at that end of the yard that have to be right behind the engine in order to make the spotted Ophir. We also have another car hidden in the back of the train that we have to dig up somewhere at some time and add it to those 2 cars. They're all going to the same destination. So we have a little fun ahead of us yet. Ready to go?
Turns out it's lined up.
So as Bill is explaining, the front end of the train is now coming forward out of the Y, and we'll be going to the far end of the yard to work. Warehouse number 3.
My end a little bit too.
So which cars are you picking up here at the warehouse?
Those 2 cars at warehouse 3, the 2 RGS cars, 8701, 8715. They are now empty and they will be dropped off at Ophir Mines. There's also a carload of coal that's going to join them somewhere along the way whenever we fish it out.
Yes, it does. I was going to do it from this end. It works from your end as well.
So what are you doing at this end right now?
I'm picking up or pulling out some cars per my switch lists.
Which
And
numbers?
The first one is a box car at warehouse number 1. Number is 8612. I think it's the second car in.
Yep. What's the other one you have to pull?
After that, it's the 2 flat cars you just heard Bill and I talk about, and the gondola that you heard Bill and I talk about.
All right.
They're in the track in front.
So 8612 is the only one you're pulling?
Yeah.
What? Oh, dual
Sorry.
uncoupling.
Yeah, hands are too big though. I might explain that I have divided these into 3 warehouses. So the first one with the larger roof area I call warehouse 1, the second one is warehouse 2, and then the monster is warehouse 3.
I can't see it, so I can't uncouple it. Thanks.
And I did list them on the edge of the layout, but most people never see them.
And you're pulling some flats as well, I see, in a gondola?
I'm picking these 3 flats and the Grande. They will be going to Rico. They will eventually join the rest of the cars at the back of the train. So one of the last moves we'll make.
So you picked up from warehouse 3 as well as the team track, basically.
That's right.
And the other locomotive is doing the work that's required for warehouse 1 and 2.
Yeah, by us working both ends of the yard, we can actually get the job done faster and get back on the road. You make more money running your freight train than you do switching.
Is there any local moves this time that you have to do?
Yeah, he's doing them now. Pierre is doing the local moves. There's a couple of cars moving from one warehouse to the other. There's a couple of cars that are going to move from the team track and vice versa. Placerville is always an interesting place to work. Tight. This first boxcar, 3170, goes back to warehouse 1, basically replaces the one we just picked up. And I have to put another car at warehouse 1 after, which is not to be picked up by our train. Maybe I'll find a piece of flatland somewhere.
Right on the crack you will.
Yep.
Right there.
That's my newest problem in operation. I upgraded a bunch of trucks on some of the freight cars and they roll like stink nowadays.
Guess you'll have to stick a little buffalo grass in there or something.
66, 29, and flat car 63.
So what are you doing with these cars up here?
4 cars are to be left on the team track, which is the track we're now on. So, and then the next 4 cars, which makes my life easy. Make sure I clear turnout and put the track in the back. We'll uncouple. We'll move back. Actually, 8612 I think is a car that I just picked up, so I might as well leave it on that track because the next car behind it, sorry about that, the next car behind it goes back to warehouse 1.
Oh, okay.
It's a car that was in the way, well, not in the way, but was in front of 8612. Okay.
One of the big questions I get all the time from folks is why we don't have magnetic uncouplers. What's your view on that as to why most of our railroads in Ottawa and about go with the sticks instead?
Well, the magnetic uncouplers limit you to having to uncouple at that particular spot, which is not always convenient. So you would end up possibly putting so many of them that then you would get unwanted uncoupling everywhere. Also with a magnetic uncoupler, unless they're an electro magnet, you may get unwanted uncoupling by trains just going over there.
And then I guess too, sometimes the couplers are fussy and they don't always work.
That's right. So you could end up jigging your train for quite a length of time.
Anyway, I think in reality, you don't see the prototype guys flashing up some major magnets under their trains.
No.
They're usually right in there uncoupling them by hand.
That's right. Okay, well, the same car did pick up, but okay, it's back on the turn. Good. Okay, we've got to pick up the one car that I left on the team track, which actually goes with the train, which is what we're doing now. I'm going to move it to the main. And then we'll reassemble our train with Bill's engine in front, and we'll move on to our next location. So there's a main one. Voila. Sorry, I got to move forward, right?
Oh, back up. I'll pick that when you move into the siding.
Okay.
All of those 4 cars going to Rico?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to push them now.
Okay, so I'm going to sit in, on the Y while you're doing...
No, you go and do your switch.
My switches are done. I've picked up the cars and I'm supposed to.
Oh, okay.
That's why if you want me to either go back and connect with the
rest of the train sitting on that siding, or
What we're going to do now, Chris, is we've got 3 through cars here we're going to add to the back of the train. So they're out of the road for any further switching. I'll be back in a minute. I've got to go to door siding.
Now you're going to just reassemble the front half of the train,
That is correct.
and then you're going to back in and pick up your flats and gone in the caboose.
That's right.
the big challenge with Placerville is the amount of tracks you have to work with, which is always fun. Well, I'll leave the front half of my train here and go pick up the back.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and guide All work is done at Placerville, and we're going to head to Vanadium, where we've got 3 cars to set out using the Army switcher. All aboard?